Hello, my name is Laura Sneed, and I am a candidate in the EDLD Principal Certification Program at Lamar University. For my participation video, I have chosen option number 1 on page 13 of the practicum plan and log. I will be interviewing 3 faculty members regarding their perspectives of the campus vision in the following areas. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? How are contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? How did the campus vision impact morale? At this point, I will meet with my campus mentor, Mr. Ames, for the pre-conference to discuss the activity. I discussed the participating activity with the campus mentor, Mr. Ames, who is the principal. This is Mr. Ames' first year as principal on our campus, and we had an in-depth conversation about the campus vision and which staff members would be best suited to interview for this activity. For this activity, I will interview selected staff members regarding the campus vision. After meeting with my mentor, I decided to interview 3 staff members on campus. I wanted to know if they were aware of the campus vision and what each of them did to help the campus move toward meeting the vision. I asked each of them the following questions. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? How are contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? How did the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? How did the campus vision impact morale? I also asked each individual additional questions such as how do you feel the community embraces the communication efforts provided by the school, and what do you think about the campus morale, and what are your suggestions to prove it? I was able to come up with these questions as I was interviewing each staff member in order to get better insight into their thoughts and really develop the interview. I interviewed the following staff members. Jay Chandler, who is a 15-year English teacher on campus, who is administratively certified and awaiting the opportunity to move into an assistant principal role. Dr. Kay Hayden, a 13-year special education teacher on campus. And Mr. Michaels, a 10-year mathematics teacher who was just recently promoted to be a full-time administrator this upcoming school year. I wanted to interview a variety of staff members, including those who were new to their positions and those who were veterans, in order to see if there was differing perspectives on the campus vision. I thought it was also important to interview those who were in administrative roles and those who were still in the classroom to see if there was any difference in their knowledge and application of this campus vision. My campus mentor and I discussed how I would conduct the interviews and how I would go about recording them. We also discussed some ways that I could follow up with some questions during the interview process. I also created a brief survey to give each interviewee in order to get their feedback on how the interview went and what I could have done in order to improve the experience. Hello, my name is Laura Sneed, and I am a candidate in the Lamar EDLD Principal Certification Program, and I am here this morning with Ms. Chandler, and I'm going to ask her some questions about the campus vision. She is a 15-year English teacher. Good morning, Ms. Chandler.
Good morning.
Let's go ahead and begin. My first question for you is, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Speaking honestly, our campus vision is very unclear. It's something that is not communicated well, other than students need to succeed. So honestly, there isn't much communicated as far as acknowledging the vision, as far as recognizing and celebrating the minimal recognition and celebrations go on at this school. Teacher of the Year lasts for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and very sporadically throughout the year, teachers get recognized for anything positive. It's usually quite the opposite.
Okay. How are contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
We will recognize students and staff on morning announcements, through email, sometimes on the school webpage, and sometimes on the school Facebook page, depending upon what the celebration is or what the recognition is. Students are recognized on the website, but not on the Facebook page, just due to some of the sharing and stuff.
Okay. How did the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
So again, the campus vision is not one that is very clear, but one thing we obviously are focusing on is our student achievement. So we have implemented project-based learning here. We tried it many years ago, and it was a flop, to say the least. And we took a few steps back and reevaluated it, and then started it in much smaller pods and sections of students, and have grown from there. And it's actually turning into something that is school-wide, and it's built into the day. It lasts for a period of day. So we use innovative thinking there as far as building projects that the students are interested in and that they're going to be engaged in, and that will bring in community members. And we use the day-to-day with the project-based learning of what works, what doesn't work, and how to move forward from that.
And how did the Vision Campus impact morale?
Staff morale here is not as high as it should be. And again, no clear vision other than promoting student achievement, which should be at the forefront of all schools anyhow. But morale is low, and I think that's probably goes hand in hand without having the clarity that the school needs.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good morning. I am here with Dr. Hayden. She is a 13-year special education teacher, and I'm going to be asking her questions about the campus vision. Good morning. I'm going to start off with our first question. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Well, the main things that have been happening pretty consistently over time has been using the website to past presidents, future students, kind of giving an idea of what they're doing in their life, whether it be ROTC or whether it be academics or athletics or anything like that. We have a program called CNN with the Good News. It's the CNN Cougar News Network, and they add information in there of the athletes, and then sometimes with teachers' achievements that they've gotten. Last year, our principal implemented something called Blocky that our current principal is going to continue, where we recognize students from each discipline who's making achievements within the classroom and outside of the classroom, and those students are combined, and then there's an overall achievement where the community has supported that and given different incentives for those students. And then our principal also had good news at meetings, so you could celebrate, something that was going on in your personal life or your professional life, just so everyone could kind of be aware of what was going on and how we were growing as a community.
How are contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
I think one way that they're effectively communicated is through the use of email. everyone checks their email. Everybody's expected to check their email, especially for the staff. Now, with the community and students, we haven't done such a great job. Now, this year, they're going to start implementing some social media aspects with Facebook and Twitter. And, everybody's a little leery on that because of what can you get from the community, or what can your staff say, and how can people respond. But the way they've set it up, it's going to have some, checkpoints in there. And I think that'll be a good way, because parents are on Facebook and so are students, to let them know what's going on and maybe shed more of a positive light on what's going on at Osto High School instead of the negative stuff that people are seeing. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that's going to be effective. The news network always helps as well. We also have running billboards that acknowledge students and what's going on with our students and what's going on with our faculty, and different meetings or different things that are going on with FBLA or FFA and the different clubs within our area.
Do you think the parents will be receptive to the social media?
I think overall they will, because our culture is all about social media now, and so I've seen it be very effective with the athletics so far, because that was implemented a little earlier than the Edisto High School website. And so it's been effective with that. Several likes, several people joining the page and recognizing and acknowledging that. So I hope that kind of transfers into the from the athletics to the academics as well.
How did the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, overall, our vision is to make sure that we're developing students who are ready for the real world. And I think one thing that we're being pushed to do is to do PBL and things like that, to take a little bit of a risk. And it's okay to fail. I learned not too long ago, fail means first attempt in learning. Mm-hmm. And so as long as we look at that and look at what we can fix to make it better the next time as a group and pulling in your resources, I think risk-taking is an effective learning strategy that we should probably take on a little bit more here. We're always scared to fail, but it's okay to fail, and it's okay to teach our kids, what do you do if you fail? And I think that's the biggest part of that. I like how they're kind of involving some STEM things and the career aspects that they go to COPE and get to achieve there. Being able to take those hands-on things and apply them to what a job would have. I think certain teachers do a really great job with innovative thinking. Certain ones are less. They're more of the lecture type person, that they're not going to do as much. So I think if they saw teachers being more successful with that maybe they would take that risk. But that's something we need to promote a little bit more. Let people share their stories about success in the classroom or failure in the classroom and how they can switch it up. This year they're going to start implementing some, more observations within the classroom, and that will give us some feedback. We had some last year, and some positive feedback came from some of it. But I think, if they continue to give us more, we'll be more willing to take risk and, develop ourselves even better to be more innovative thinkers and to have our students develop that way of thinking. So I think we're growing in that area. We haven't achieved it. I don't know if you ever will achieve it, but I think we're growing more towards our vision of fostering kids to the next level.
And how do you feel technology plays a role in all of that here, specifically at this school?
Well, it's kind of slow at this school with technology, but I think that if we have to provide kids with technology for two reasons. One, it's going to be in their world forever. Another way, I read a book called The iStudent and talked about curating, being owners of your data and owners of what you put on Facebook. We have so many people that go on Facebook and just make comments because they think it's free and easy. And then we see it in the school later on, but if we teach them that what they put on Facebook is out there for their jobs to see or anything else, and we teach them the responsibility that they have with Facebook, I think we need to use technology more. We're going to begin to do the one-to-one Chromebooks later on this year. I know in special education is a huge factor for us to promote higher order thinking for our students, because they have so many disabilities, but the Chromebooks allows them to have so many accommodations that are harder for me to give each individual student, but through accommodations and things like Bookshare, each one of them can be reading books that are within the general curriculum as needed on their own in headphones, and it's a free asset for us. So assistive technology is huge, especially to get students with disabilities or students who are struggling more access to the general curriculum.
Which in turn would then enhance the campus vision.
Exactly.
How did the campus vision impact morale?
I think the biggest thing that I've seen with the vision that David Dom set in for a couple of years ago and that we followed through the change of leadership was building relationships. He was really big on pushing, not just teacher to teacher relationships, but teacher to student and student to student. And then we slowly have seen that kind of trickle down in the community. I think it needs to be a little bit more. And I'm seeing a bigger push this year with using the community and getting them involved in what our vision is, and that we're just not a school. We're a school within a community, and we need to reach out and depend on each other. And that's, basically we talk about in our vision that we are to be preparing students to be productive citizens, and part of that is a integrated community effort. And with that, I hope to see that increase this year because that's kind of where we're lacking. But I really have seen student-to-teacher relationships get stronger, whether it be they go to the game or you just see each other outside. But they know that teachers are real and that we all can work together if we choose to. And I've seen that be the biggest thing, which is going to impact in the vision for the future for them because of the fact that they're going to have to do it in their workplace. They're going to have to collaborate with people who are older, younger, their peers, people of authority, and as well as that. So.
And how do you feel about the overall morale of the campus?
Ms. Thornpark, please come to the guidance office.
The overall morale of the campus, I would say, is low because we've had so many changes. Our school is on their third AD and their third principal. And like my personal kids are 11th graders. They haven't had stability in their leadership. And so not only do we have to think about kids not having stability in their leadership, but also the teachers. Every principal is different. Every AP is different in what their expectations are. Sometimes that the morale can be low because of a lack of communication. I think that's where we are right now is we have a little bit, there's a lack of communication going on. And I think that is going to increase our morale if we always make sure that we're communicating effectively. Sometimes we communicate, we don't communicate effectively to each other. And so that is gonna, I hope morale increases, but it's always on that tinkering thing. Are we just going to lose another AP or an AD or principal next year because it's been so consistent in our life right now? The change has been. And so I think we want to say we have a good morale, but I can't say that we do because of the change. But I know the teachers that have been consistent, we depend on each other, and we'll continue to depend on each other to hopefully boost our morale or get us through the next day or get us through the next situation until we can understand and get better communication going between top down, I guess, approach.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. At this time, I will now be interviewing Mr. Michaels regarding the campus vision and how it impacts the school. Mr. Michaels has been teaching mathematics for 11 years, and he has recently been promoted to a full-time administrator. Good afternoon, Mr. Michaels.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm going to go ahead and begin with our questions. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Here at Edisto High School, there are an array of things that we implement to acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate student, faculty, and staff that support our campus's vision. For example, teachers that excel professionally and are voted as Teacher of the Year are designated parking in the front of the building. Each morning during first block, our media team records a 10-minute segment called Cougar Network News. and they disseminate important information and recognize positive things that have taken place to staff and students. We also have implemented Block E, where one kid is nominated from each department for their character and academic performance. This allows the students who are high flyers to be recognized before their peers. This allows the students that aren't high flyers to be recognized, because oftentimes we typically, reward the ones that excel academically. So it kind of gives them an opportunity to be recognized as well. Our district website displays achievements. Students who excel academically receive a blue and gold card. These particular students who make the honor roll or improve behaviorally are allowed to enter into athletic events for free. And thankfully, the athletic director has allowed us to implement this tactic. And it's awesome because a lot of kids can't afford to get into the athletic events. So it gives them an opportunity to get in and be a part of what we're doing, because our campus vision is to help kids excel professionally and help them grow. So they support one another, and you do that by supporting each other, not just in the classroom, but also on the athletic football fields or in the band competition. But we also have a local newspaper that sometimes acknowledge everyone for doing having academic success. We also implemented a Twitter, where thankfully the messages go through the administrator myself, but once they are approved, then we're able to tweet the different things that are taking place at Edisto High School, and I try to update that periodically. But I'm learning Twitter myself. We also have a Facebook page for Edisto High School that, again, all the tweets and the posts goes through the administrator, because we all know that sometimes things can get put out there, so you want to make sure you verify what's being placed on social media. But we also have to make sure that we keep in line with what kids are doing, because a lot of our parents utilize Facebook and Twitter. So we use those things to communicate different things to the community and teachers and faculty and staff and students.
Okay.
So those are just some of the things that we do here at Edisto High School to support our campus vision.
And how are the contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
Well, here at Edisto, we have robocalls, and robocalls are awesome because we don't have to physically call 700 plus parents. We also send letters out to parents, and we have Remind 101, and a lot of teachers are starting to implement 101, because for the most part, everyone has technology, phones, so it gives them an opportunity to submit something instantly, and each parent can have an idea of what's going on. And again, we use Facebook and Twitter, and there's a big marquee in the front of the school building, and each week we post different things that are going on in the school and acknowledge those achievements. We also have Parent Night, and we're going to try to do a better job of that this year, and hopefully have one Parent Night at least once a month. But we do have Parent Night. We also announce things during athletic events at halftime. We put flyers around the community and the school to, try to help recognize those that are excelling in our community.
And do you feel like those efforts are effectively embraced by the community and the parents?
Yeah, everyone loves social media. I think that's a big. And and again, we're still new to this type of technology, to utilizing it. And we all have our own personal Facebook and Twitter, but that's getting to be quite, the thing to do in school districts. But I think our parents and community embrace the different things that we're trying to get out to the community.
I think it's appreciated,
Yeah.
the quick communication. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, we sat down as the admin team and tried to figure out what was the best thing that we could do or purchase to help, especially those failures. Because for me, I'm prior military, is leave no man behind. And so we try to make sure, well, at least I know I try to make sure that no one is left behind. So we try to provide an environment where everybody can be successful. So we went out and we game plan and we purchased Mastery Connect. And this helps us track data, and it gives us a snapshot that can be quickly assessed and used to drive instruction. And we also use that as a professional development tool. We've also instituted data teams, and I'm excited about data teams this year. And we also went out and our superintendent wrote a big check. So now everyone is going one-to-one, and every student will have a Chromebook this school year. But one thing I admire about our district office, they didn't just give us Chromebooks. They gave us courses that we can take in the springtime and in the summertime, so we can be prepared when we do roll out the Chromebooks this fall semester. We sent some of the kids, not kids, but we sent some teachers and administrators to California to do project-based learning. And those teachers were able to come back and teach the teachers what was talked about and discussed over the summertime. We also sent some administrative team to a Google training where they learned about innovative apps that each kid could use to assist them in their academics on their Chromebooks this fall semester. And we also sent some teachers and administrators out to Kentucky where they were able to shadow high schools that were excelling. I think it was called the High Schools at Work Conference. And so that was pretty exciting. It's been a lot going on and different people doing different things to promote and enforce our vision here at Edisto High School.
And how do you think the teachers and the students respond to those practices?
Well, I know our teachers enjoyed going places throughout the summer. It's been a little pushback on the Mastery Connect, and it's because they haven't embraced the change in the data teams. But once they go through the Mastery Connect training with our technology coordinator, then we're hopefully they'll gain a better understanding of how it can make their life easier and how things have already been submitted through Mastery Connect with different teachers. And they're able to connect with teachers like themselves, and not just in Orangeburg School District 4, but in the state and throughout the United States. And there have even been, you can even go overseas and get different ideas from different people. So, and we're all in this together. So I think if you use the Mastery Connect and the data teams like you should, then it'll definitely drive instruction and increase our vision.
How does the campus vision impact morale?
Well, our school vision promotes students to grow professionally and personally inside and outside of the classroom. So I think if we're all in, and that's our slogan this school year, all in. I mean, if we're all in, then we can help these kids beyond Edisto High School. And that's the goal. I mean, we all know that everyone won't go to Clemson or South Carolina, but we can help them become better citizens or military personnel. So, and that's what we're trying to do at Edisto High School, to promote kids to excel inside and outside of the classroom.
And how do you feel about the overall morale at the school now, where it stands, and what can be done to improve it if it needs to be?
Well, right now we have a new principal, and like I said, I'm a new administrator, and we have a new assistant principal of instructions and curriculum. So there has been a lot of change. So we all know everyone does not embrace change, but I think as a year go on, and once they build those relationships, because this is my my second year at Edisto High School. But once they um, build those relationships, and then once people start seeing that they really care about the students and doing what's best for kids, then I think people would be more interested in embracing the change. They just want to make sure that they're not being overworked, but if they utilize time wisely and what the resources that they have, then they'll realize that this is what's best for the kids.
That's all I have. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
To review, I chose participating video option number 1, found on page 13 of the practicum plan and log. I interviewed 3 faculty members regarding their knowledge and perspectives on the campus vision. While speaking with Jay Chandler, the 15-year veteran, I was informed that while she did not know the exact vision of the campus, she was aware that it dealt with student achievement, which she felt should be and was the main focus of the school. She did mention to me that she was aware of where to find the vision on the school's website, but that it is not always effectively communicated throughout the school. She knew of some ways that the school celebrated the implementation of activities that supported the vision, but really had very negative thoughts about campus communication. She did not feel that there was much recognition of the activities, unfortunately. She was able to identify specific ways that the school has utilized failures and innovative thinking to enhance the campus vision in the use of their project-based learning. She mentioned that after a failure the first time they tried to initiate the program, they were able to take a step back and reevaluate and successfully implement it the second time around. She also mentioned that she felt morale was not where it should be, and it was very low due to the lack of clarity provided by the leadership team. Dr. Kay Hayden mentioned that she knew the campus vision under previous leadership, but due to the constant changing that has been taking place over the last few years, she was not sure of the exact vision under our current principal. She did know that our goal, however, was to develop students to be prepared for the future, whether that be college, military, or the workforce. She spoke heavily about all of the transitions that have been taking place recently and how the lack of communication has led to a decrease in staff morale. She also mentioned a variety of ways that the school celebrates students when they make high achievements and how those achievements are communicated to the community. Dr. Hayden felt good about the steps we were taking forward in utilizing technology and social media to assist the school in reaching the campus vision. Mr. Michaels was very informed on the campus vision and was able to provide a great deal of insight into many of the ways that the campus vision is communicated, celebrated, and recognized for students, staff, and community members. He mentioned the importance of relationships and trust in effectively achieving the campus vision. He also brought up the fact that there have been many changes in the campus leadership in the past few years and mentioned how that has affected different activities and the morale of the campus. He was very optimistic in the transitions that were taking place and new initiatives that are being implemented to move the school forward toward the campus vision. Mr. Michaels specifically discussed the kickback that has been expressed by veteran teachers who have been very resistant to change. What went well? I feel that all of the staff members that I chose to interview were very open and honest with me regarding their thoughts on the campus vision and how it is celebrated and communicated. I received great feedback from each interviewee. I was very thankful for their willingness to honestly provide me with suggestions and highlights from the interview process. The feedback forms were beneficial and provided me with information that I could use in future interview situations. What would I change? I would have liked to have started my interview by asking each staff member if they knew what the campus vision was and where they could find it if they didn't. I also would like to have had more information on how the campus vision is developed and the way that the senior leadership team is working towards improving each of the areas discussed in the interview questions. If I were to complete this activity again, I would get in touch with someone that was able to assist the staff members in answering their questions about the campus vision. What surprised me? I was very surprised by the difference in ways that the teachers communicated about the efforts of the school compared to the way that Mr. Michaels did. He seemed to be very optimistic in the efforts that the school is making in order to increase the campus morale and realization of the campus vision, while the teachers seemed to feel much more negative about the situation. Dr. Hayden and Mrs. Chandler seemed to be on two different pages as well. When it came to the incentives the things that the school provides for those who help move the campus toward the vision. It was surprising at how little the teachers actually knew about the specifics of the campus vision, other than the generality that we are supposed to be increasing student achievement and preparing them for the future past their high school career. I then met with my campus mentor, Mr. Ames, to review the activity. He offered me feedback. He asked me how I plan to utilize this information and to provide him with insight into how the teachers felt about the campus vision in ways it is acknowledged in the school. He was also very surprised by the lack of understanding of the staff members of the campus vision. He was also able to take this information to work on new ways to communicate the vision and help all staff members, students, and community members know what the vision is and how it is recognized. This experience will transform my practice as an administrator by highlighting the importance of effective communication. I have now been given a first-hand look at how the lack of communication can cause misunderstandings of the vision of a school and how it impacts staff morale. It is very important that everyone is aware of the vision and how they play a part in achieving this vision. It is also beneficial to identify appropriate ways to celebrate those who help move the school forward toward meeting the vision. In conclusion, these interviews allowed me to gather important information that will help me to grow as a practicing administrator. Thank you.